Yo guys, what is going on? Alex Pandrea here and welcome to the tutorial on the push through false shuffle. Now I'm very excited to show you this technique here today because not only is this a great false shuffle to use when you want to false shuffle a deck, but it also could be used as a great expose. See, a lot of the times I don't perform a lot of gambling routines, but what I would do is do an expose of some of these techniques, like showing off the second deal, bottom deal, palms and switches, sometimes even false shuffles to say, look, see, this is what gamblers would do, or back in the day, this is a secret technique that a gambler would do. And then you show that off to the spectators and they're like, oh wow, man. If this is the type of character and magic that you want to perform, sometimes it's good, sometimes it might not fit in, but that's up to you. We're gonna go through this technique step by step, so don't worry if you can't get it at first. Practice makes perfect, so go ahead, grab your deck of cards, and let's get into it. Today's video is brought to you by the Knock Luxury V2 project. These bad boys are going live tomorrow, October 10th, Sunday, October 10th at 10 a.m. You can check the link below. There will be a Kickstarter project of the Emerald, of the Sapphire, and of the Ruby. Ruby, Emerald, Sapphire will be available, plus birthday bundles because tomorrow is my birthday. So you can celebrate along by getting some special deals in the Kickstarter. First come, first serve. Cards are nice and shiny, look at that. So you can check the link below for details on all of that. Today we are looking at the push through false shuffle. Now the push through false shuffle is meant to mimic a table shuffle, and I'm going to show you a sort of an easy way to do it. Now this move by no means is easy, but I'm going to show you some subtleties and things that you can use to make it easier for yourself so you can go out and fool your friends. If you have friends. Oh, you do? That's good. All right, let's go. Now the idea of the shuffle is to mimic a table riffle shuffle. So the first thing that we should know how to do is a table riffle shuffle, okay? Now a quick summary of it is as follows. You're gonna cut half the deck to the left just like this. The thumb is on the back, first finger here because the first finger is gonna use to put pressure on the halves, and then the middle finger on the outside of the deck just like that, okay? So you can pick up the deck like so. And then you're gonna start riffling by putting pressure on the first fingers, riffle with the thumbs, and interweave the cards, okay? I'm sure all you guys know how to do this, but it's very important to do the same technique in your real shuffle as in the false shuffle, okay? So if you're going to hold your fingers like this, you don't want your false shuffle then to have your fingers in a different spot. I hope that makes sense, okay? So just take a look at how you do your real shuffle, and that's how you're gonna have to do your false shuffle when it comes time to it, okay? So you're here, you riffle, and then you push in the cards. Now the next thing that I just want to show you really quick before going into the false shuffle is the up the ladder cut. Now the up the ladder cut is an important element of this because this will create the illusion that the cards are being shuffled more after the false shuffle, and this is a way to sort of clean up the shuffle, okay? Because if you don't do this, then it'll just look like you're sort of cutting the cards at the end of the shuffle, and it won't be as fooling, let's just say that, okay? So to start the up the ladder shuffle, with your left hand, you're going to pick up half the deck just like this, and then the right hand is holding the bottom half just like this, okay? Thumb and middle finger in the left hand, and thumb and middle finger in the right hand, okay? So from here, you're gonna kind of cut. Now you're gonna move your right hand packet around, and it's gonna come from the bottom, and it's gonna go on top, but it's going to be out jogged to the left, okay? So kind of side jogged if we're looking at it this way, but it's really just jogged to the left. Now at all times, your fingers are here, so whether it's the third finger or multiple fingers in front to cover this side of it so they don't see the jog. From here, you're going to now take the bottom packet, which was the top one, move it around forward, and now move it to the right hand side, so jogged to the right. It's at this point where we're going to start the up the ladder cut, because now this is the top packet back on top. I'm going to grab now the thumb, and the third finger is going to grab now everything. All right, so the top packet and the bottom packet. And now my right hand is going to start stripping bottom packets from the top packet. All right, so just bottom packets from this half. It's going to start stripping it up and around and here. So now we're just placing it on top, and the only thing out jogged is that top packet. You're going to continue to take the whole top packet and move it around, and then again put pressure and strip the bottom packet of the top packet remaining and around. Come back with your hand, take this packet, place it here and here. So now you'll notice this is a continuous motion, and it's sort of like you're going up the ladder. I don't know why they call it up the ladder. Okay, so you're here, 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 and like that. Okay, and that in itself is a false shuffle, but now we're going to combine it with what we're going to learn next. So for the false shuffle, you're going to again start with the top packet in the left hand, cut it to the left side, the right hand is holding the bottom packet. Now you're going to start to shuffle. Now what's very important is the way that we're shuffling the two packets into each other. So you're going to start first with the right hand, and you're going to let a bet of cards fall. So maybe 7, 10 cards, I would say at this point, that will fall from the right hand before you start shuffling with the left hand. All right, so that's step number 1. If you don't want to shuffle it off, you can just pick up and leave cards on the table. So here I'm leaving about this many cards on the table, just so we can have a nice bed of cards, so that to make the move easier. All right, so here, boom, that's step number 1. And now we're going to shuffle all the cards, and you're going to leave one card on the top. Okay, so this card right here, which is the right hand's packet top card, is going to be left on top just like this. Right, remember, this is the bottom packet, this is the top packet when it all comes said and done. Now what you're going to do is you're going to start pushing together. Right, so this is why it's very important to have that bed, because when you push together, you don't want the bottom cards to interweave or move around from one packet to the other. All right, so now you're here, and now you're going to push it about there. All right, so that you have about this much room left, and you can see right there, that's about the length of where we're going to push it to. All right, once you sort of practice this move more, you can push it in further, but I would recommend just doing this for now. All right, so that is our position. At this point, you're going to change grips. So from here, you're going to go to here. So the middle fingers will come out, and one middle finger will go here, and the other middle finger will go here. The thumbs will go here. All right, now, so from here to here, because just think about it, when you actually do a shuffle and you want to square up the cards, you're going to change directions and then square them up this way. Now this is going to be the point where we're going to square up, but now watch what's going to happen. Pressure is with the thumb here. The middle finger is going to push diagonally this way of the right hand, and the left hand's middle finger is going to push diagonally this way. And what happens when you do this is the cards cross. You can see that right there. And now what happens when the cards cross, you're going to have that left hand packet now be gripped by the right hand, and then the right hand packet is now gripped by the left hand. So you're switching packets and you're switching grips. Okay, boom. All right, so let's just go back one step so you can see that in action. Here, push in, switch grips, push diagonally, keep your thumbs there. And now as I push, now the left hand's packet is gripped by the right hand, and the right hand's packet is gripped by the left hand, and you're going to now come and square up this way. Now notice when you square up, your fingers, the first finger, the middle finger, they're going to cover the front part of the deck so that they don't see, the spectators don't see this. All right, you're covering here. Now, because you're covering, this doesn't have to be so pushed together. This could be actually, at this point, this is how I do it. And just because I'm covering, it just looks like one deck from the front. All right, it's at this point where we're going to strip out, because you've done the actual move. You've done the push through and the switch of the packets. You're going to do the actual move where, and now this is where the nice bed comes in. Because of this bed of cards, I can very easily now grab everything of the right hand packet, which was the initial top packet of the deck, and with pressure from my left hand, I'm going to strip out forward. And remember what this is reminiscent of, the up the ladder cut. There you go. So we're going to strip out and forward. And stripping out and forward, we're stripping everything out, placing it on top, jogged to the right. And now guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You got it. We're going to do the up the ladder cut to complete the sequence. From here, strip out from the bottom to the top, and continue. Here, 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 to the last card gets placed, and you've complete the shuffle. Now, there are a few things that I want you to keep in mind when doing this. The first thing is that you don't want this to be seen. Obviously, that's the point of this, okay? So how do we work around that? Well, obviously you can do it so that you can start pushing it in when it's further pushed in. You can do the move when it's further pushed in, and now you just have a very small brief on this side, which will be enough that you can grab this packet and still strip it out, okay? But of course, that'll take practice. An easier way to go around this is to do the following, and this is what I do all the time. I come here, I do this, and now when I'm going to do the move, I'm gonna move everything back and forth, all right? Everything with the deck and my hands goes forward rather, and back quickly, okay? Boom. And when I do that, I do the move, and then I riffle up like this as if I'm squaring up, okay? The squaring up action. So from the front, this is covered, squaring up action like this, and maybe you can put your hands like this even more to square up, okay? Just take a look at what you do in the natural action of squaring up and try to mimic that as best as possible. And now the second thing that you want to do is not take this right away, okay? You can come here, you can do this, and then give it a second. And then when you're ready, boom, strip it out, and finish the shuffle. So putting it all together, top packet goes to the left, leave a bed of cards, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. First card goes out here, push, push. When you're ready, you're going to switch fingering position, push in, go forward, and then back. As you cover this, cover with your hands. Your first fingers are right here, covering the front portion, and strip out. And at this time, when you strip out, you'll also notice that there is sort of air between the cards. Make sure you push down on that, because you don't want to start stripping cards from the middle. This is a common mistake that I see. And finish that there. Here, here, boom, boom, and boom, and boom. Now, an important thing that I want you to keep in mind when learning this technique or when performing it, you don't have to do it perfectly if you're doing it for an expose like I mentioned in the beginning, right? You can do it very out in the open and push it through, strip it out, and do it so that it doesn't really fool them, but it shows them the technique if you're still in the practicing phase and still wanting to try to get it down perfectly. Now what this does is that, especially if you know other false shuffles, like let's say the Zarro false shuffle, you can do an expose on the push through false shuffle, show them the technique, and they'll be like, oh wow, that's pretty good. And then basically you're doing a pseudo explanation, use another false shuffle by doing it in real time. So, I'll show you how it works in real time. And they'll be fooled with your pseudo explanation by thinking that that's what you're doing, but you're really doing something else. And this way you can use the technique to fool them by not really fooling them, but you're still fooling them. Another little tip is to try to practice this without looking down at your hands, because when you actually want to do this in the course of a routine, let's say, you're doing the shuffle, you don't want attention obviously down here, so you want to be able to shuffle, strip out, and do everything while watch. So you do this while watching TV, on your couch, on your lap, whatever, and I think you will get it down in no time. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. More videos are to come. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the next video.